Rarely does the bamboo curtain part just enough for us to glimpse the domestic Japanese motorcycle scene. Gray market imports of the Honda VFR 250 R and Suzuki RG 250 race replica offer clues. But in 1989, Honda listed two of its home market bikes for sale in the US. The 13,000 revolutions per minute inline 4 gear cam drive 400cc Honda CB1 and the Great British Honda GB500 thumper. Neither was a big seller at the time, but both are fast becoming collectible classic Honda motorcycles. Though sold as a 400 in Japan, the GB500 was given a full 500cc engine for the US market, using a sleeved-down version of the SOHC radial 4-valve engine from the XL600 dirt bike. But it was the GB's old-school styling that made the biggest impression. Though not intending to reprise any specific British single from the golden era, Honda managed to capture the essence of the Norton Manx, the BSA Gold Star and the rest through subtle styling cues and period replica components. The gold pin striping on the swooping black gas tank echoed Velocette and Sunbeam practice of old, while the paired tachometer or speedometer sat in chrome binnacles above clip-on handlebars, steering an aluminum-rimmed spoked front wheel. Visually, the single-disc brake was the GB only necessary concession to modernity. Yet while many classic British bikes look like the assembly of disparate components they actually were, the GB500 is a stunning example of coordinated manufacturing bringing form and function together. The dry sump 92mm x 75mm air-cooled engine drives a 5-speed transmission via primary gears and a wet clutch. The oil tank lives behind the right side panel, and the whole is wrapped in a single downtube dual-cradle steel frame. An aluminum box section swingarm holds the spoked rear wheel with traditional dual-shock suspension. The Honda GB500 is a compact motorcycle, and 6-footers will find it cramped, even though the monoposto single seat measures 31 inches high. Accordingly, no passenger footpegs are fitted. The riding position is sportingly forward, with the rider's footpegs sighted rearwards. Cycle Magazine's 1989 dyno test recorded 33 rear wheel horses, enough to hustle the 390-pound GB to a 14-13-second standing quarter at a shade under 90 miles per hour. They also recorded a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 5.1 seconds. Handling was found to be stable and secure, though higher speeds on bumpy roads could show up the suspension's stiff springing and relative underdamping. The engine was tractable and smooth, and Cycles testers found no need to exploit the upper end of the rev range. It was, after all, never intended to be a true performance bike. That said, if you wanted a little more oomph, there was some potential tied up in the Honda GB500. As Cycle World proved with a hot-rodded GB500 that would turn a 12/8-second quarter at 101 miles per hour and do 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4 seconds flat. But the aspect of the GB that won admiration from riders and envy from onlookers was the way it delivered the classic motorcycle experience without the hassle. But to gauge the unique character of the Honda GB500, you have to ride one. Although the clip-on bars seem low, they're easily reached because of the GB compact layout, and the riding position is surprisingly comfortable. Lightweight and a low profile make the GB easy to ride at low speeds. The exhaust has a solid boom as befits a sporting single, yet the engine is uncannily smooth thanks to a balance shaft. Controls are light and responsive, the transmission sweet shifting and the braking more than effective. Cycle recorded a 60 miles per hour to 0 miles per hour braking distance of 128 feet. At speed, the GB feels rock steady, perhaps because of its relatively lazy 30-degree rake, yet leaned over it is light, neutral and laser sharp. The GB's fittings and finish are mostly of exceptional quality, a factor reflected in its 1989 MSRP of $4,198, at a time when a Harley-Davidson 883cc Sportster could be had for $3,999. Yet it's precisely that extra level of quality that gives the GB an edge in collectability, and it's easy to own. The GB500 delivers vintage style and vintage flavor to boot, and all without vintage grief. So can a tribute bike become an icon? Few GB500s seem to have ended up in wreckers' yards, and most still on the road appear cherished and well-preserved. The Bullet comfortably spans the eras of the original British big singles and the later Japanese pretenders, Manufactured in England until the early 1960s, it's been produced exclusively in Chennai, India ever since. Though now sporting a new powertrain, it still makes a unique reference point for the GB and Senior. While the frame design, cycle parts and suspension are pure 1950s, the new fuel-injected electric start engine is built in unit with the 5-speed transmission. The result: 5 more horses, emissions compliance, parsimonious fuel consumption, and better reliability. But even with the redesign, the basic character of the slow-revving long-stroke engine is retained with its mountain goat tractability and slogging torque. A low center of gravity and relatively light weight contribute to solid, steady handling as befits a bike with a trials and military background. Indian-built bullets have been of indifferent quality and questionable reliability in the past, but the new machines are made with better materials and to higher tolerances, and come with a 2-year unlimited mileage warranty.